So, Resident Evil 2 and 3 have appeared on the PlayStation Store through PlayStation Plus. If you've got it, that premium service to download. If you bought it back on the PS3, you now have access to it for free. Digitally, of course, there is no physical version of this. The fact that it's released digitally the way it is, I think we have to assume any kind of Resident Evil remastered collection in the future is pretty much dead and buried for the foreseeable future. But this does provide us with 1, 2, and 3 on a modern platform. Keep in mind, was it last year? GOG got hold of 1, 2, and 3 for the PC editions. They came with their own problems. Not to say that these versions are perfect, but that collection came with its own problems in the sense that yes, they run, yes, they work on modern PCs, yes, I'm grateful they exist, but nothing was truly done with them. They're literally the PC versions from back in the 90s. And it's the same story here. These are the PlayStation versions of Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3. What you're looking at here is Resident Evil 2. That's the one I wanted to look at. I'll play through 3 and let you know what I find with that one. But I just wanted to see if there was any kind of quirks with this version, how it ran, what it looked like, what the emulation was doing. Did any of the sounds like desync or anything like that? Any graphical glitches? And although I haven't completed a playthrough, I've done quite a bit of Leon's campaign and I haven't come across a single thing. Of course, I'm going to continue playing through these editions of the games. I want to see if there's anything. But as it stands right now, this is a very good version of the game to grab hold of and play. It's at your fingertips, it's easily grabbed, you don't have to pay eBay prices for a physical copy. You don't need an old TV, you don't need an old PlayStation. It's right at your fingertips on a modern PS5, and that's something to be grateful for. Now again, the same things apply. Nothing's truly been done here. Now, keep in mind, the video quality is way more crispy, more high definition than it ever was on PlayStation. And there's not too much you can do with the filters to kind of like replicate that old TV feel. I feel like emulators really got to work on that now. A lot of older releases of older games add in scan lines, like a CRT curve filter to the video. There's just a lot of things you can do, and obviously this emulator that PlayStation's running doesn't do said things. There are a few options, none of them really work for me, I just leave it on the default setting. But yeah, this is Resident Evil 2 as you know, and you love it. Now, let's say you don't know Resident Evil 2, and would I recommend this to you? This is a hard one, honestly. I grew up with these. I played them at a very young age. I was able to get hold of the controls fairly easily. I think anyone can do it. But that being said, these are old games. They're old visual styles, they're old quirky mechanics, older camera angles, the cutscenes are fuzzy, like compressed, you know, they're just very old looking games. And some people are not going to be able to wrap their heads around that. They're classics to me, they stand the test of time to me, but if I pull my bias out, my nostalgia out, I can see the issue. I can see the fact that, yes, this control scheme, this play style is archaic. Nobody does it anymore. Yes, there's indie games that do, but nobody does it on a AAA scale for good reason, because it wouldn't sell. It's a very niche market for this kind of play style. So if you're into modern Resident Evil, you're not necessarily into classic Resident Evil. So it's kind of hard to recommend in that sense. So you've really got to ask who you are as a player. Now, can you wrap yourself head around old tank control Resident Evil? Because if you can, this is without a doubt one of the greatest video games ever made. As long as you can get your head around the controls, which I'm telling you, man, they're really not that hard. Just don't worry about dying. Just deal with it, repeat it, you'll get it, and then you'll be aware. It's really easy to pick up. Now, a lot of people tell you that this one is better than the remake that came out in 2019. And honestly, it's hard to argue. It really is. Now, obviously 2019 comes with some bonuses. It's got better visuals, it's got better control. The gameplay is 100% better. It will always be better. You can actually aim at the enemy and dismember them The gore on the zombies is absolutely insane. But what 2019 lacks is it lacks Scenario B, it lacks the soundtrack, the sound design. I feel like the scares in this one are way better. Back in the day, sure, maybe they don't work on you, but I mean, I can't really take my head out of that space, right? But there's just a charm to this game that's very much B-movie centric, while I feel like 2019, while it is trying to replicate that, doesn't quite do it, and it does take itself a little too seriously. So it's really gonna come back to what you want from a Resident Evil game. Do you want it taking itself seriously? Do you want it being a bit more, you know, cheesy, campy, that kind of charm? Because what you're gonna get here is that campy charm, and it doesn't necessarily mean that it's a bad thing. The goal's still insane. You're seeing it on screen. It's still really good. Sure, it's not as good as 2019, but the game came out in 98. It's an old video game. But I believe, just my personal opinion, it stood the test of time. It's great to look at. I can't ignore the visuals. When you watch an old horror movie, the charm comes from how it was filmed. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's a fuzzy picture, lots of film grain, and you used to watch it on old VHS tapes on an old TV, and it just added to the film. It added to the spookiness. I feel the same way about PlayStation 1 graphics. They add to the horror charm, they add to the spookiness. There's something there that these new polished graphics just can't provide. Yes, it doesn't have trophies. I should have really spoke about that. Come on, Capcom. No trophies. 1 doesn't have trophies. 2, 3. Dino Crisis doesn't have trophies. What are we doing? I know there's a lot of my viewers who are like, I don't care about trophies. And honestly, I can live without them. It's not like it really matters at the end of the day. What matters is the game, but I don't know. I just want a reason to play it. Like, if there was a trophy list, I'd go for the platinum. And I'd get it. You've also got a rewind feature here, and you've got save states, so take that as you will. You don't have to rely on the ink ribbons if you really do not like limited saves on Resident Evil games. You don't have to worry about them. Save wherever you want. If you make a mistake, rewind it. There's never been a better time to learn tank controls than being able to rewind the gameplay, right? This is the most accessible way to learn tank controls. Fiddle with the controls, die, rewind it. Fiddle with the controls, die, rewind it. Fiddle with the controls. Oh, look, you've got them. You're running away from the zombie. You're now playing one of the greatest games ever made. I recommend this to anyone willing to learn. I recommend it to anyone fans of classic Resident Evil. I just recommend it to anyone, honestly. Like, it's such a good game. Like, this is the kind of game you return to and you forget how good it is. It's so good. Absolute classic, masterpiece. One of the best PlayStation 1 games ever made. You can't go wrong with it. Anyway, people, that's all I got. Are you going to get Resident Evil 2 on the PS5 if you already got it? Or you're just going to ignore it because it's digital and you'd rather have a physical copy? Do you still have your physical copy on PS1? Let me know down below. If you're new here, subscribe. But yeah, that's all I got, people. I'll catch you later.